You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we got some breaking news in here involving the number one overall pick in the WNBA draft. Olivia Miles. No, it wasn't Olivia Miles. Should have been. Shouldn't been. But this league's full of agenda, as you have heard me say. And one of the biggest instances or evidences of agenda was Azzi Fudd going number one overall to play with her girlfriend, her boo thing. Is that what the kids say? Paige Bueckers, right? With the Dallas Wings. Again, Olivia Miles balling out right now. Wow. So, Azzi Fudd was supposed to go play in Unrivaled. Except she's not going to now. And, guys, I made videos last year telling you when Project B was coming around that it may very well time up with the last run or last year of Unrivaled because, again, Unrivaled's media deal with TNT Sports is over in March of next year. So after the third season, they won't have a new media rights deal unless somebody actually pays them money for those ratings. And those ratings in Unrivaled were dog shit. They were, we thought the first year were bad. The second year, real bad. And outside of a couple of road games that got played, which I contend how many tickets were actually given away in order to, because that does happen, folks, in droves at times to get stadiums filled. That absolutely happens. Happens a lot in the NFL, really and truly. You'll have some corporation that'll buy 15 tickets and then give them all away and everybody goes as a group or blah, 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 or they go individually. So right here, Azzi Fudd has signed with Project B, according to Front Office Sports. Fortune was the first to report it. Project B begins in December and runs alongside other WNBA offseason leagues. Come on, just say it. Unrivaled. Runs against Unrivaled. A spokesperson tells Front Office Sports they want players to, quote, uphold their commitments in the W and with FIBA. So, that brings us over here because we got an entire group. Camila Cardoso, Sophie Cunningham, Azzi Fudd, Jonquel Jones, Jewel Lloyd, Kelsey Mitchell, Ineka Agumake. Of course, she's the president of the Players Association. She signed this Project B deal back when they were still negotiating in the CBA, and I contend that was partially a power play. But Project B, we know, is reportedly going to pay salaries over $2 million. Now, interesting note that is stuffed down in here. All right. Kelsey Mitchell's commitment to Project B was put into question on Tuesday during the Indiana Fever Media Day when she told reporters that it would take, quote, a drastic, unique situation for her to play overseas after she signed a one-year, $1.4 million Supermax deal. Interesting. So that tells me right there, is Kelsey Mitchell backing out of Project B? The three-time All-Star also said Unrivaled would remain an option because it's in the U.S. Project B spokesperson told Front Office Sports Kelsey Mitchell is still signed with Project B and expected to play in the inaugural season. So Project B's like, nah, she's playing with us. So, the Azzi Fudd report came out and was like, oh, no Saudi money here, because we know that was the whole thing, right? Saudi Arabia was funding Project B. And I contend, and this is speculation, I'm going to say it, there were a lot of stories that came out, especially from Front Office Sports and others, WNBA-friendly media, that was like, oh, no, the Saudis aren't involved. And I'm like, really? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Because I contend some of those stories were carrying water because a lot of people were questioning the women signing with Project B because of Saudi money. So, I have my doubts. My buddy Ben Daniel, money is gone. Project B is as good as dead. They dipped on Live Golf. They'll dip on Project B. And that may be possible too. And if the Saudis took the money away from Project B, unless they got a television rights deal we don't know about that's coming, that league will be cooked just like Unrivaled will eventually be cooked, no matter what. I mean, they can't compete with those salaries at all. So, right over here, this is SI, Sports Illustrated. What does this mean for Unrivaled? Talking about Azzi Fudd signing. While many wondered if either Unrivaled or Project B would create competition for the WNBA, that no longer appears to be the case, especially following the WNBA's historic new CBA. However, a competition could certainly arise between the two off-season leagues, no doubt. Unrivaled is set to enter a third season following a year with a mixed bag. TV ratings were down, but the league had 2 successful sellout road trips in Philadelphia and Brooklyn. Again, I'm skeptical. Unrivaled has received plenty of financial investment, but there is reportedly an opt-out after year 3 for the league's media rights deal. The Miami-based league still has commitments from many WNBA's biggest stars and announced a new one from Gabby Williams. That was yesterday. However, after losing one of the sport's up-and-coming stars with Fudd, could be a big blow. And it creates an off-season women's basketball dynamic to watch once Project B does become a real thing. Oh, that was Robin Lundberg's article. So, that makes you wonder. Paige Bueckers plays in Unrivaled. So, what's the story there? Are we to believe that Paige is going to stay in Unrivaled while Fudd goes over and plays international ball? And I do wonder, what would a media rights deal look like for Project B anyway? Because, 7 o'clock time overseas could end up being no telling what over here. So how does that work? Right? Or are they going to be willing to play games at crazy hours in order to make it into prime time, or a 1 p.m. slot on a Saturday, or whatever? You get my point. Something that's more U.S. friendly. Or is basketball fans that actually want to watch Project B going to have to get up over here and be like, yeah, I'm watching women's basketball at 6:30 in the morning? I couldn't even say it with a straight face. Son of a bitch. Oh, I couldn't make it. I could not do it. Yeah. It's funny how this camera will shift the light. And so now, because I got too close, boom, bright. Anyway, so what's going to happen there? Azzi Fudd, is Paige Bueckers leaving Unrivaled? Or are they gonna just take a Ross and Rachel break from Friends? We're on a break. We were on a break. Ain't no telling what's going to happen overseas. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.